right. There we go. Just swapped over. We'll bring this up. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever time you're watching this. As always, thanks for watching Common Sense Fishing. We got a little live stream for you guys tonight, so thanks for joining. If you're here and you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel where we talk about all kinds of cool fishing stuff. I give as many tips and tricks as I can, and we have fun. We do all kinds of stuff. So tonight we're going to go ahead and do a share the screen with you guys and gals. And I've got it set up so I can take you guys along for a ride to a couple of different favorite spots of mine. So strap in. We're going to have a good night tonight. And we'll cover a couple of cool fishing spots. And don't be afraid if you want to leave a comment there in the comment section. And let me know, what you guys think, what you guys want to talk about, if you guys got any comments or anything. So let me pop this out. So pop out chat. There we go. Keep this one over here. Oh, bloop. So So I've been working on a little song, and we're going to start the night off proper. So I've just been playing around. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. Oh yeah, I've got to take this out and put this in. So hopefully this hasn't been messing with things. Woo. Microphone did not like all that, did it? All right. All the technical difficulties aside here, this old man having a hard time with the technology, ain't he? And my age is showing. Woo! All right. So we're going to talk about a couple of tips and tricks tonight. We're going to do a quick video. We're going to be talking about suspended bass, topwater bass, bass moving towards the backs of creeks and coves. Not all the way in the back, but like in the mouths of them, halfway back. And the fall transition. So buckle up. We're going to have a good one tonight. We're going to talk about all those different things. But before we do that, I've been working on a little quick music video I want to share with you guys and gals. So let's see here. See if you guys like it.
Common Sense Talks. Smash that subscribe.
I did this.
I wrote the song
with
like
a YouTube beat,
and I'm using a YouTube beat. Show some
what I'm
support.
saying.
Let's go, Brandon. I just can't stand him. He just can't stand himself. Man, how do you fall up some stairs? I don't know, man. That's something else. I could tell you the country's going to hell. There's a bucket, you better start bailing. Seems like everybody's stitching and tailing. You don't got the backs. Shit, wearing the max. I saw him put recyclables in the trash. Remember the drop, you using too much water taking a bath. Unless your name is Hunter Biden smoking some crack. Where did my gun go? Picasso on a boss roll selling out to China. Big fat for China. Can you hold a little something for the big guy? Well, you ain't getting no billion. You don't fire that rap skill, you're not dealing. Investigate my son, you ain't getting none until the thing is done. Quid pro quo, oh no. I never had anything to do with my son's business dealings. No vaccine mandates, tolerate student debt. I'll cure cancer. Are you dumb enough to vote for me yet? You know what they're saying. You know what the whole nation's saying. You know what they're saying. You know what we're saying. Yeah. We're saying Joe Biden, let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon. Joe Biden, let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon. Joe Biden, let's go Brandon. Yeah, let's go Brandon. Joe Biden. So I had to do my own little version. So I made a little music video kind of that I'm just messing around with. So I thought I'd have fun. Everybody's doing their Let's Go Brandon, so I figured I'd do mine. Hey, look at all those chats we have tonight. Woo! It's gonna be a busy one tonight, folks.
Oh goodness. Let's add another. Let's see here. Let's go to this one. Boom. Boom. And boom. So we have a couple other tabs. Some other places we can go. My biggest interview ever. You guys get to see what I watch. So if you guys are interested in seeing like what kind of crap I watch, you guys can see my YouTube portal right here. So yeah, I like German music. So you'll hear me listening to some German music here. Of course, I'll watch Fox every once in a while. We got Tim Cast, Tim Pool, all that stuff. Into Discovery stuff, weird stuff like that. The Quartering, definitely. Comedy, definitely. I need to unsubscribe device. They haven't been legit forever. But occasionally I have some cool stuff. So a lot of nerdy stuff like making stuff and into stuff like, you know, the wilderness and all that. So I do love fishing. This is a fishing channel. Now, I'm on a little early if you guys didn't notice. Usually on 7 o'clock. I try to get on at 6, but got on, if I'm not on by 6, I usually get on at 7, so. Now, I've got a fishing trip planned for the California Delta this Friday, and we're going to be heading towards like Holland's Track area. So we're going to take you guys over there and show you where I'll be fishing. So we're going to break down the Delta, talk about what I'd be fishing, where I'd be fishing it, and then that's Mildred. Is this Discovery Bay? Clifton Forebay now. Frank's Track right here. Yeah, that looks like Frank's Track right there. Okay. So Holland is going to be, is it Holland Track? Is it Holland Cut? There's Holland Cut right here. So I think where we're going to be launching is Sandmound Slough, not that. Or usually, where's Holland? I know it says Holland Cut. So there's Holland. I think that's where we're going to be out of. Mandeville. Mandeville's a good spot. So I'm believing we're going to be launching out of Holland. I don't know. That's not a launch, is it? No, that's a house. Where's Holland's Track? I'm busted right now. I can't find it. It's around here somewhere. Where's it at? Where we'll be launching. Let's see. Let's type in Sugar Barge. Okay. So Sugar Barge is over there, so we'll be, we'll be fishing, we'll be launching somewhere either right here or right here. I'm all burned out Space Cadet right now. Where is it at? No, I could usually find it quicker. I think that's where it was at. It's right here. That's the Holland Cut. Old River Discovery Bay. Ooh, that's where I should fly down to. You know what? I'm thinking about going and trying that out. Come out of Frank's and make a right and smash down this way if it all connects, which I think it does. That looks like some fun fishing area right there, the way this canal's diverted like that. The natural flow of water is going to be broken up around something like this. This is something you really want to look for at the Delta. So anyways, I'm all Space Cadet. So let's show you guys how I fish the Delta, how I break it down. So obviously it's a tidal system. So water comes in from the bay right, washes in this way, and then the rivers drain into it and push the water out. So outgoing tide, the water's moving this way. Ingoing tide, the water's moving this way, right? And where I do not have a lot of experience fishing right now is more up towards the Sacramento area of the California Delta. I've been really hammering the Stockton, Manteca, Brentwood, Bethel Island area. So Oakley is right around the corner from there too. So I'm thinking a big break. Might try to swing around here, shoot out this way, and then make a turn back into here. I don't know if I can get there from here. If I can, why not just head this way? Dutch Slough. Up into this. So anyways, we'll show you guys what I'm looking for when I'm fishing the Delta. So I'm going to be launching somewhere in Frank's Track area. Holland, I think, is right around here somewhere. It's going to be on this side. Or it might be on this side, no? Yeah. Either way, I forget. I know Holland is right here, Holland Cut. But I thought there was a Holland Track too. But either way, we're going to be fishing all around Frank's today. We'll probably try to get into like the Old River, Middle River area, fishing this stuff right now. And then what I'm going to be looking for is stuff like these islands. And I'm going to be fishing the points of them depending on if current's going this way or current's going that way. And I'm going to be fishing on the edges of these, any kind of points like this that are, even if they don't really stand out, but if they've got different stuff. See how from far I seen these have docks, and you see how there's nothing on the shoreline. So any fish, right, that are traveling up through here, not any, but a lot of them are going to be stopping along things like this for cover. And then when I turn a hard corner like this, I definitely be pounding the hell out of this corner right here. That point looks juicy. And again, all these points right here, it depends on the way current is moving. So if current's moving this way or current's moving this way. If current's moving this way, I'm probably going to bring my boat in this way, and I'm going to cast this way and bring the lures back with me. I want to fish the direction of the current. I want my lure to come with the direction of the current. But if I'm not getting bit that way, I'll turn around and then I'll fight the current too. So at the Delta, you could be on a stretch of shoreline like right here, right? And you could just be chilling and you can be going along. Let's say you're headed this way, right? And this shore could be loaded with fish, let's just say. And the guy in the front's just like not catching nothing. And the guy in the back is catching fish left and right. And it might be because he's pulling, so if the boat is facing this way, right? He's pulling his bait this way while the guy in the front of the boat is pulling the bait this way. So be wary at the Delta when you're throwing reaction lures, you're throwing similar lures, and one guy seems to get bit more than the other, and you're fishing different directions. So sometimes, a lot of the times in a bass boat, guys both head up towards the front and they both fish the same direction. Sometimes the guy in the back just turns around and fishes out the back, or fishes parallel to shore, or whatever he's doing. So if the guy in the back is stroking a lot of fish versus the guy in the front, it's a good clue that directionality may be playing a role there. So you got to watch with what direction the current is going and what direction you're moving your bait. So super important. And all I could say is you could find random monster 10-pound bass just chilling on the side of the shore here, right? But that's usually not going to happen. Where you're going to find those fish are going to be key ambush areas, points. You got to think the Delta is all a moving water system, so everything is about ambush points, ambush spots, and then washes and drains. So let's just say this is a deep channel right here that's 8 to 12 feet deep, whatever. And in here is 3 to 4 feet deep, and it's real shallow. But there could be a million bass in there. But let's say during low tide, this is only a foot deep, right? Let's just say. So what's going to happen is in high tide, this thing could be filled with bass, and a boat might not want to go in there and check it out. And then if he does, and the tide starts pulling out, you might be screwed and get stuck. So little areas like this, you see how this boat is, how big this boat is right here, right? So areas like this, what you'll want to do is pull your boat up out here, right? And fish all of this right here, and as much as you can of this when the tide is pulling out. So basically what you want to look for is, let's say the tide is moving, okay, so this is east, so if the tide is coming in and it's pushing in this way, right, the tide is going to push up this canal here through Frank's track, and it's also going to push up this way, right, and push water out. So with that being the case, say this was a low tide and high tide was coming in, water would come pouring in to a place like this through openings like this. And then when the tide lowers, and let's say the tide is going out, all that water that's in here is going to drain through these openings. And you really want to find these. These right here, like called washes or drains, I believe, are some of the best stuff to fish on the Delta. Fish all around it, from out in the middle in front of it, because if there's currents really moving and spewing, the biggest and best fish are usually going to be in the best spots, but they could also be back out off of it a bit, waiting for things to kind of settle down. But I would strongly recommend you look for little inlets and outlets like this. And this is super key at the Delta, and we'll show you a few others, okay? So say you're just smashing around, and let's find a spot. Like right here. This is where I bottomed out, actually. So there's going to be a ring of rocks, right? A shallow ring right here that goes all the way around this thing. And this thing is going to be this big shallow flat. And this is where all the boats drive, right along the canal. So what you're going to want to do is during high tide, this whole thing may be submerged, in which case bass could stock up anywhere. But as the tide starts to change and it either comes in or goes out, the bass are going to load up on spots like right here and right here. You guys get the point, right? Any opening that the bait can come in and out of this area, from the shallow water to the deep water, from the deep water to the shallow water. So I'm looking for washes and drains. I'm fishing points. So say the current's moving and roaring this way and then swings around this way. I'm fishing all of this and then bouncing. Or fishing this and I'm gone. I'm not going to fish all this crap. I mean, I might on a lazy day, which I have fun fish and lazy fish all the time. But if you're really out there trying to put a good bag together, what you want to do is premier spot hop. Fish around right here, fish around, these points look kind of plain and lame. Yep, just regular rock. So, no. Maybe right here there might be some fish on this. You see the weeds right here and how there's no weeds, all like this. So this first set of weeds will hold some fish right here. This clump probably right here will, but this really should be good right here. So I'm going to fish stuff like that, and then I'm going to take off and drive past all this crap, and then I might stop and see this underwater like island clump. I might start fishing it back here and fish all of this, depending on if the current is going this way or if the current is going this way. Then I might fish this side, and then I'd take off, haul balls, and move. Look for something like this. Now again, it also depends on current. So if the current's moving this way, I'm going to fish this edge like this. If the current's moving this way, I'm probably going to fish this edge. And depending on how deep this is, when you see something like this, water takes the path of least resistance, just like electricity and gravity. So if it's coming from this way, it's going to keep going like this. there's going to be a small amount that does do this, right? But it's easier for the water to just do this. So this will be a more calmer, still water area, less current. While this may have current ripping across it. So you want to watch for stuff like that. Look for the ambush points. And again, washes where, let's say fish are over here and they want to get over here and they got to go through an opening. If that opening is close enough, really hone in on those. Those can be really killer spots. And then when you see something like this, you see how you see these two pipes right here, and you see how they go on each side, and there's some water back over here, there's water here, and then you got this. Well, a lot of times there may be some underwater pipes that get the water from here to there, just like this is. And those are key, really awesome, because as the current moves, it bottlenecks right here at these pipes, and you'll get a lot of fish that stack up. If I think, is this whiskey? Let me see. Is that whiskey slough? Almost looks like whiskey. I'm gonna burn out. Let me see. Not saying if it's whiskey or not. Empire cut. Turner. So I would usually be coming from down up in here, and I'd take Empire or Turner cut to head to Frank's track, 'cause I fish downtown Sac. These right here, all up in here, from probably here all the way back to here is my stomping grounds right here. This is my stomping grounds of the Delta that I know very well. I know super well. And then I know a lot of this stuff too. But this main section of crappie part of the Delta sometimes is just really good. Sometimes the best. White slough, isn't that the one that goes to garlic? Yeah. Yeah, white slough can be really good. Little potato, I think it is too, is really good. Or potato slough, little potato. I forget the name sometimes. It can help band. Well, not band, but get all burned out. So, anyways, I'm heading out there this Friday. Now, if you're fishing like McClure or Don Pedro or New Maloney's, I would focus more on top water right now, and also suspended bass. They're really not on the bottom. There's not a lot of bass on the bottom. The rainwater is going to change things a bit, and the fresh incoming water. I think we grossed like 10 feet. The lakes rose pretty good. In the last couple days, we had some rain, so check it out. Might have a nice enough amount of water may have came in that made the. Hey, how's it going, guys? Happy Hump Day. Crankbait and paddle tail on a ball head jig. Cali Bear knows what's up. So, and what's up, Barefoot? So, Barefoot will be fishing today, this Friday, I believe, right? So, I'm going to be heading out to the Bethel Island area, Brentwood. I'm going to be fishing with Virgil, and I believe Barefoot Bassin will be out there with us. So, we'll see what's going on. Try to keep this up so I can say hi. Make sure I'm keeping in contact with you guys, get your guys' comments and respond to them. But yeah, we're going to be heading out this Friday. I have my GoPros fully charged, and I've made it a personal point that no matter how good or bad the trip goes, we're going to record it all. We're going to shoot a video. We're going to release it. Doesn't matter. I'm also going to do a few, instead of these live streams, I'm going to do a few whiteboard and breakdowns. So we're going to get back into doing a few of those videos. We're going to get out some specific lures, and we're going to start doing maybe some 5 or 10 minute videos on which crankbaits I'm using, what hooks I'm using on the crankbaits, what line, what rod, what reel, what action, what line, all that good stuff. So we're going to start doing a little bit of that just right now to keep the content up, while obviously, it's winter time. So I fish all throughout the winter. I don't care about the rain, the water, but with the cold weather, I'm going to probably be doing some more work. I've been working in the Bay Area. there's a lot of things on my plate too. So we do have to worry about financial issues. The wife could lose her job. Vaccine mandates. She's a school teacher, so we're not sure what the next 3 months holds for us. So I'm not in a rush to like be doing any big projects right now, like Clear Lake trips or anything like that. But down the road for sure. So come this next spawn, I'm hoping to really go do some trips and hit up some special lakes, bodies of water, like the Los Manos Creek Reservoir, Lake Success, Clear Lake, Salt Springs, Valley Reservoir, Tulik, and put you guys on some little hidden gems that a lot of people don't know about or they just don't fish a lot. So, nice. You're fishing Friday, you're launching out of Holland. We'll definitely meet up out there. Oh, heck yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm going out with Virgil, so we're supposed to meet up over there, and think we're gonna go grub and eat over at Sugar Barge, and go out and have some fun. Try to catch some fish and have a good time. The usual thing that me and Vince or Virgil like to go do. So we're gonna go out there and try to find some fish and put a hurting on them. So I'm hoping the jerk bait, the crankbait, and the LV500 will probably come through. If not, I've always got a drop shot or, some kind of shaky head or a jig or something tied on that I can, go to work on those finicky bass. So we'll see how it goes. You never know. I think the Delta is going to be real productive. The Delta is shallower, it's tidal. The water temperatures stay cooler there most of the year because incoming river water. So the fish there, I think, are more accustomed to a little bit of colder water. So, like, yeah, they're going through their fall transition at the Delta for sure. But I think that the fall transition at some of the lakes has gotten kind of tough. If you don't have like a really good fish finder and you're not really dialed in on them, these fish at the main motherlode lakes are suspending, over 60 to 100 feet of water, and they could be anywhere 10 feet under the water all the way to 10 feet off the bottom. And so they're real tricky to catch right now because I don't have a fish finder. So I've just got to go out there with intuition. I'm chucking and winding and I'm figuring them out. I've seen some topwater activity, but majority of my good fish, they've all been suspended. Some good fish topwater, and not much on the bottom. So don't even really bother if you're at the motherlode lakes. That may change soon. But that's how it's been for me the last couple weeks. So hopefully you can capitalize on that. Get out there, start whacking them. If you aren't already, dial in on those suspended fish while you can. Flutter spoons, jigging spoons, LV500s, swim baits, crank baits, anything in that middle water column. Work it erratically. Sometimes try it fast, sometimes try it slow. Just play with the retrieve and the size of the bait. Blade bait's going to be another one that's on fire right now, or will be on fire soon. So make sure you're throwing the blade bait. And then when it gets really cold, float and fly. So I can't wait to, we'll bring you an updated version of the float and fly video and get out there and hopefully show you guys how to assemble the float and fly, how to put it together from point A to point B. Ooh, love you, babe. Look at this. Smells good and yummy. So, cheers, bass and beer. We're just hanging out on this fine hump day Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing good. Let's turn my AC on so the flies don't bug me. We got a couple in the house. Now, like I was saying, if you're at the motherlode lakes, if you're at any of these motherlode lakes, fishing's probably been a little tough for you. Some instances it's good. You just gotta be dialed in on them. And I've heard the Delta's been on fire. So we're gonna go see. I got invited by a couple buddies to fish a couple other places, but I couldn't make it. So busy working, doing all kinds of stuff. So it's been a crazy last couple weeks. So I don't know about you guys and gals, but again, this winter, please believe, if you know the channel and you see me last year, I'm a savage. I'm gonna be out there all winter, and I don't care if it's snowing or raining. I'm gonna be out there as much as I can. So this winter, I'm gonna do a couple challenges. I want to make sure I try to teach you guys how to fizz a fish. Um, we're gonna show you guys how to catch a fish, or easily catching a fish in probably 80 to 100 feet of water. I'm gonna make sure I do that on video this year, just to show that you can deep sea catch fish, bass anyways, and they'll be literally out there in 100 feet of water. It's crazy, and they'll be 2-3 pound bass we'll catch. You'll see. Um, that's not always where I like to fish, how I like to fish, but it's just a unique thing that I think a lot of people don't know, that fish are that deep a lot of the time, and it can be harmful to them to fish for them that deep, pulling them up with their air bladder all expanded like that, and then having to fizz them. Sometimes it doesn't work out for the better of the fish. They can die. You put holes in them when you don't have to. So, but I want to do at least one on video to show you guys, hey, it can be done. I'm thinking of also, like I said, I'm going to do the gummy worm challenge this winter. So when we get into the drop shot, we're going to show you guys all kinds of different tricks about drop shotting. Sometimes you'll see them on your fish finder, and they'll be loaded down there, and the little boogers just won't eat. And it'll be something as simple as, not usually color. It's either the size of the drop shot worm changes, or the motion. Going from a hop and a wiggle or a shake to almost a dead stick with an occasional lift and raise, or a drag, left to right, real painstakingly slow and steady, just dragging that weight across the bottom at like an inch every few seconds or whatever, or more, and just a real slow retrieve, or sometimes popping it and hopping it. So this year I'm gonna hopefully show you guys a couple different ways to catch them with the drop shot. I'm gonna go back to my super duper rig, so we'll be throwing the Ned rig on the bottom with the drop shot on top, and also like a Sudoku rig, we'll be throwing like a double and a triple drop shot. So we'll show you guys how to do that. We'll show you guys just some crazy little funky tricks that work for these mother lode lakes. And I'm excited for the winter, but before we get to the winter, I want to enjoy some of this fall. It's just, you guys know what's been going on. Been a lot of crazy stuff going on this last couple months. So I appreciate everybody sticking with me. But like I said, I'm trying to give you guys the most genuine, honest, helpful tips and tricks as I can. And I think this year focus on, or not this year, but this time of year, focus on making sure you're not fishing with real thick line, unless you're power fishing for the bigger bass. So it's time to downsize those lines if you haven't already. It's time to get ready for things like the blade bait, the float and fly, the drop shot, shaky head. Jig fishing will turn on soon once the water stays raising up enough. And there'll be some top water and some reaction, like a jerk bait, that should turn on and off throughout the rest of the year in the winter. And then when it gets brutal cold, where you just can't seem to get them on anything and everything, and it's just really tough, the 3 or 4 go-tos for me at those times are going to be the float and fly, blade bait, and a drop shot and a Ned rig. So those 4 I'm really going to hammer on the end of the fall transition, just to teach how important they are, try to show all of the positive and negatives about them, where I screw up sometimes with these lures, and where not to make the same mistakes that I make, different hook types, line types, how to tie them and set them up. And then sometimes I just screw up, like especially when I'm drop shotting and I get a bite and I reel too fast, and it causes my pole to shake. And then I hook the fish, and then the shaking goes boom, boom, and gives it a little bit of slack, and that's all they need. And so we'll show you guys, controlling your emotions, just fish, real at a decent enough pace. You don't have to burn that reel. As if you do, and your pole has enough play in it, you will shake that fish right off the hook, even with like a spear point. So you got to be careful. Um, so I've really mastered that kind of fishing. That's what I've been doing the last few years. But it's time to start throwing swim baits and A rigs and all kinds of stuff. But this year we're gonna do some. We're gonna finish it up with some educational stuff on that, so that when we get into the other baits, I want to make sure I've kind of left drop shot and finesse behind me for a while. Now, there's times to pick the fairy wand up and just go to work with it, and then there's times when you should be power fishing or using your heavier gear. So we'll talk about that, all that good stuff coming up. But in the meantime, just keep your head above water. Keep your lines tight, and just keep on trying. The biggest advice I can give is don't get up, don't give up, don't get frustrated, and if it's not working, switch it up, change spots, change technique, change your stuff, and also don't change so often that you're not giving it a good shake. That can be something I used to do a lot back in the days. Is I know that the conditions would call for something like, say, a jerk bait, and then instead of giving that jerk bait a nice fair shake and throwing it for a half hour or something and going around and trying different locations and different types of jerk baits, instead I'd throw the jerk bait for like an hour, not even an hour, like 10-15 minutes, and then call it quits. So you got to make sure that you're giving lures a long enough time to rule them out, and different spots. So if you're throwing them only on main lake points, we'll have you try throwing them in the backs of coves and creeks, and have you looked for transitions to fish where rock turns into dirt or mud turns into dirt or rock, or where it goes from dirt and rock to trees. Transitions are real key. Are you fishing, a steep bank, or are you fishing shallow stuff? So switch what you're doing up. So if all your fishing instincts are telling you to throw a jerk bait, then make sure you try it in a few different areas. Give it a sure shot before you put it down, and then go to something else. Because you may find that they're really keyed in on that lure, but just not in the location you were throwing it. So, hope that helps. Don't throw the sink at them. Try to narrow it down to what like this time of year. Some top water is going to stay good, especially while it's raining, when it's not super super cold, and we're still in this fall transition. But top water is going to be dying off very quickly, and there'll still always be time for top water. You can catch fish top water all year long, and some of the biggest fish too at that. So there's always a here and a there for it. Keep your eyes open. If you see activity, if you see busting, if you see movement, then try it. Throw your top water. But now is going to be the time to move on to things like the blade bait, the jerk bait, LV500s, A-rigs down slow, Ned rigs, and drop shots. So those will be the kind of things I'll be focusing on here soon. And hopefully we'll catch a couple monsters. So remember last time I was doing the whole segment about catching monsters and big fish. And I was just talking about it, and I was focused on it. And sure enough, I got another double digit this year. So with that being said, I really want to put myself in the mindset of getting another double digit, or at least something over 5, like a 6, 7, 8 pounder, before we close the year out. And I want it to be in a normal lake, in a normal fishery, not some stocked pond, or not some like glory hole that's just loaded with good fish. So hopefully we just keep getting out there, putting myself in tough spots, and challenging myself and I'm hoping to grow and really do good this year. So I hope you guys and gals all do the same. So just get out there, get your line wet, and remember, the fall transition's not going to last forever. We've probably still got about another month of the fall bite, where the fish will still be kind of. And in the wintertime, when you have real warm periods too, they'll do the same thing. They'll lift off the bottom and they'll school and swim around. Then you have cold fronts or really cold weather come in, systems or something like that, barometric pressure, where those bass will just and sit right on the floor and they won't move. It'll be hard to spot. You can't see them, but I know they're there. They'll look like a certain little layer, like almost like mud on your fish finder, but those will be fish. Especially when you go over the whole damn lake and you swear up and down you can't find any on fish finder. It's not that they're in 1,000 feet deep or they're in 1 feet deep. They're there. They're just peeled to the bottom and they're blending in with it. And your fish finder's having a hard time seeing it. And whenever you see like a thin layer, almost like mud, then that's a good sign. That's probably bass. Especially if it's sticking out from the bottom, like not off of the bottom, but it looks like a slight humps and bumps and the coloration's different. You can tell that's not quite a hard bottom. Yeah, those are going to most likely be fish in the winter. So especially after the fall transition, when it's done, we get into the winter and those fish just and settle down. So thank you guys and gals for watching. I'm going to enjoy my dinner here, and hope you guys don't mind me munching a little bit. Woo wee! Hope you didn't miss my giveaway last night. So we had a members giveaway, and we had a subscriber giveaway. So next one is going to be November. My birthday's in November, so we'll probably hold it sometime around my birthday, late November, November 20th, in that range. My birthday's the 27th of November. I turned 40 this year, so right now I'm 39. In a month, I'm going to be 40. So today is the 27th of October, so I got 1 month of being 30 left, right? In my 30s. So, hey, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to fish, I'm going to enjoy it, but age ain't nothing but a number. As soon as I turn 40, I don't give a heck. It'll be like I'm 30. So, hope you guys liked my Let's Go Brandon song that we played. I can hear my kids out there. They're playing. So anyways, let's get this closed. Let's take you guys back now to, let's see if I can get a fixed position on this. Yeah, just like that. Bam. Look at how big that lake is. You can see that one. It's actually a pretty big lake, ain't it? Boom. And here we are, our three favorites. Uno, dos, tres. Oh no, four. Duh. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. McClure, Don Pedro, Tulik, and New Maloney's. And if you look at how small they all are compared to Don Pedro, look at this sucker. Way up in there, way up in here, way up there, and then way over here, and then way up here, and then that way. You can go all the way up to like right up in here somewhere. Maloney's, you can go pretty far north, but I love to fish in this little area right here in New Maloney's, right here. The Y, I like to call it. Why? Just because. Why? Right here. The Y of New Maloney's. And then this creek arm is really badass right here. Carson Creek, you fish out in front of it. You see this long point? Well, there's these islands go out, and this point goes out, and then there's like it drops off over here. But this point goes out, this point goes out, and then this point does a saddle back right here, and then goes to this island. This island is an extension of this point. And fishing way out here, 50, 60 feet of water, can be really, really, really good in the wintertime. Throwing like LV500s, A-rig, stuff like that. So can't wait to get out to New Maloney's and smash them. We can get out there and do a lot of fun this year. I can't wait. So having fun, having a great time. 2 years, we got 2 double digits, one for every year that I've been on YouTube so far. So I'm stoked. Hopefully we can catch some more double digits. Hopefully we can win some tournaments. Unfortunately, I've got 12 trophies from 2010 to 2012, and I don't got squat for the last 2 years. Now, I only entered like maybe 8 to 10 tournaments, but I didn't win none of them. However, about 4 or 5 of them I was just outside of the money and dumped so many fish I could have easily won first or second. And I know that's always the statement and always the case, but it really was. And I learned a lot this last couple years on my gear selection, how important it is to use the right speed reel on the right type of pole with the right type of line for the right type of lure. And maybe we'll get into that a little bit next video and break that down a little bit better and show you guys, if I'm jig fishing, what line do I use, and what rod and reel do I use. If I'm Texas rig fishing, which one do I use, and on so on and so forth, so we can try to help you guys dial in how to use the right stuff on the right gear. So because that was really one of my big mistakes I've been making the last few years, is that I just love fishing and I'm pretty good at it, like okay at it at least, and I go out and I catch fish, right? And I know I'm going to lose some fish here and there, so I go out and I fish. But once you've lost a few double digits, once you've lost a few monsters, it really starts breaking your heart. And you really start learning there's a reason why I'm losing them. It's because of how I'm holding my poles, or what speed I'm reeling at or not reeling at, how I'm fighting them. Am I over muscling them in on certain lures, or am I babying them too much on certain lures where I should muscle them in? So there's different types of lures. You kind of really want to fight the fish a different way depending on what pole, what gear, what stuff you're using. And even then, I'm always more a safe than sorry guy. I don't really like horsing in big fish, but sometimes that's really what you want to do, especially if you can get this monster to the top of the water and they open their mouth and they're not jumping. And if you can haul them in with their mouth open and the water keeps coming in across their mouth and gills, they may shake and jump on you, but you'll get them in quick. There's a good chance you might lose that fish, but it's either that or play it out, because it's like danged if you do, danged if you don't. And I'll explain why a little bit later on that. But I've lost plenty of double digits on crankbaits, having them straighten my hooks, snap my hooks, and break my line. Usually they either straighten my hooks or snap my hooks. They only break my line when they either get snagged, or like I forget to set my drag, or there's a couple of times I've got probably a 7, 8, maybe even a 10-pound bass, who knows, big old monster bass hits me near a dock and then takes me under and pops me off on something and breaks me on something, or actually gets the crankbait stuck on something and then snaps it. So I've had a lot of different ways I've seen bass get off. Usually, let's put it this way, I don't really barely ever lose bass when I'm playing them slowly and nice. If I fight the fish and I let the fish wear itself out, I usually don't lose them. When I can lose those fish is whenever I'm near a dock, whenever I'm near cover and I hook that mondo and I don't have the power, I don't have the line, I don't have the hooks to pull that big fish out of that cover without snapping the hook, snapping the line, or straightening the hooks, right? So you get these fish that are just so powerful and so strong. If they hit you, they bite, and then they're running, or they're already diving because they either already got hooked or you hooked them and they're, instead of coming up to jump, they're moving and they head into that cover. Oh, they head into a brush pile, into a dock full of boats and stuff. They can be nearly impossible to land when they're over 7 or 8 pounds. You can stir a 5 or 6 pounder away from the dock, but as soon as that thing hits 8 to 10 pounds, if you don't have the right gear, good luck. And that's where I've lost most of my giant bass. So I've lost a few to just jumping. That's the other thing, is when I finesse and I fight the fish forever and then it jumps and then it throws the hook. Usually, in my experience, if a bass throws the hook when it jumps, it does it in the first few jumps. If a bass comes up and it jumps once or twice, usually it's not going to throw the hook, even if it jumps another 3 or 4 times. Because for me, whenever I hook a bass and they throw the hook on the jump, it always seems to be on that first freaking jump. When I'm coming and I'm reeling probably too fast or holding my rod tip wrong, and they come and they jump and it just, and then done. So that's almost always, if I lose a bass to a jump, it's on the first jump. I don't know about you guys and gals, but for me, it's been like that. So anyways, it's 7:30. We've been on for an hour tonight. I was just going to do a quick little live stream because I'm going to make sure I'm not missing these anymore. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned in Friday. We're going to bring you a special live stream from the Delta. I'll be throwing jerk baits, LV500s, all kinds of craps. So you'll be seeing what I'm doing. I'll be with a couple of buddies. We'll be having a great time. And please excuse whatever you hear the 3 of our drunk art asses saying, because, you know, we're going to be having fun and having a great time. So hopefully we don't offend or make anybody mad. We're pretty cool, chill dudes, but we're cracking jokes and having fun all day long. So join up, hit that subscribe button, and come hang out this Friday and watch us go fish the California Delta. And then if not, I'd love to break down any one of these lakes, river systems, whatever you guys would like. Leave a comment below if you're interested in me picking apart a certain spot or a certain lake. I'd be more than happy to do that. Otherwise, thanks for watching Common Sense Fishing, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Take it easy.